Alright, if anybody's been watching me for a while, you know my stick is about crying about how I'm all alone, out here by myself. Nobody loves me, and if it's not for you all, so like it and subscribe, and I'd have no friends at all. But, in all honesty, Hank, I'm out here sanding, making noise. The dude is falling asleep as close as he can to me. Because I'm his thing. So, no matter how bad the world gets, I've got a great big ginormous buddy that is taking good care of me and watching over me. He's got my six. He gets on my tail just like I'm a wild horse and makes sure that I'm protected from the wolves, I guess. But he's a good old boy. He is a good old boy. So, look at him fall asleep. And I turn down the volume on these, when I do the videos, I turn down the volume on the skill saws and whatnot. He's there. So let me rotate, catch you up where I am. I'm doing rafters today, right? So I've only got, I don't know, 5, 6, what did I say, 7 rafters left maybe. So this piece goes around the window rather, and a stained glass window goes there. And like everything, since it's a shelf, people will be touching it. I break the edges so there's no sharp edges. And then I sand it in a manner that's similar to scraped lumber. So it feels old, antique-y. I'm going with a Southwest Mission vibe. I started that inside the house, and it just makes too much. Just makes too much sawdust. But, the reason why I wanted to pause it just a second. I don't know if in the stop motion you noticed that this piece broke off. There was a great big sliver, right? And I don't want people getting hurt. So I break slivers off, and then I sand them. And lo and behold, well, right there, I got to finish that. There's still a sharp right there. Lo and behold, it's fixed. And your eye hardly notices it in this style. Now, if your style was something fine, like a real fine colonial or Georgian or Victorian, you couldn't get away with this stuff. So, you need better joints, better, scraped wood. I guess for the floors you could. Oh my gosh, nobody could see me. Scraped wood you could maybe on the floors, but on a shelf, maybe, I don't know. It depends on how old the colonial is you're working for. But I'm shooting for a 1,000-year home, so I'm using thick cedar on everything, 2-inch shelves, not little thin shelves. No particle board in here, right? Because everything here is designed to be a 1,000-year house. So let me put you back on the stand, put you back on stop motion, see if I can get this seat rafter in. As you can see, it has special cuttings to fit the window. I'll try to get this stained glass window in today as well, so we'll see. Alright, so as mentioned, I sandwiched the cutouts in the Conex between wood. Otherwise, it springs out. If I did this right now, there's a 3/4 inch of a spring there that popped out. So I tie them all together, front and back, and then I caulk the screw heads, and then I like to put tape over the top of them. And eventually I'll go over the outside of this before I earth bag it real quickly with one more layer of paint. Just to give it that 1,000-year thing. So, but talking about headers. So this is the inside header. It's not bolted down yet. It's cedar. The outside header will be contact wood, fully treated. And this is the deal on the outside. So you'll see that that's just a little bigger on the ends. So what I end up doing is coming in and anchoring the outside. Whatever one's longer, I make them a little longer. Visually you don't notice that, but that is the anchor points that I'm using. And then of course I treat the top of this with 2 layers of Protecto wrap so that the rain won't run down behind it. And I put a rain diverter above each one of these so the rain is going to run down the middle channels and not into the windows. And it took quite a bit for me to work out how to weatherize these, especially hand-cut windows like this. The commercial windows were a little easier for me to work out, but as you saw, I'm going to end up putting a piece of stained glass right here. But that's the way that I do these two things. Now, the one thing that I've seen is that this does pull out from here, so I'm going to run a couple of screws up here. They'll be hidden because there'll be another piece of wood coming in. You won't notice them at all ever through the stained glass. But so I need to tie this one in, and then I'll tie it in from the outside, and then I'll go around the frame of this wood, around the complete, all the way around it, and from the outside, drilling holes through the wood Conex into the frame. So, and that's the way that I'm sandwiching these. Other people are able to do welding, and I could have, but I started last year during a drought where there's a burn ban, so I didn't do anything like that. So now that I'm just going to continue with this particular method. On the other Conex, if they lift the burn ban, I might weld metal frames around the windows. I think that would be a lot faster and a lot more watertight. But this methodology does work if you're like me in a burn ban, dry environment. You couldn't use a welder, anything that throws sparks. So let me go ahead and get this all mounted up on the outside. I might move the camera. Alright, as you could see in the stop motion, I drilled out all of the little screws around, you know, and ran in stainless steel. And it ties that header and that shelf support joist to the outer skin with stainless steel. This piece of wood here that I use is just a gauge piece. See, it's broken. I can't get a good water seal on it with the Protect type, so I'll go get my chainsaw and cut that off. Leave a little, and so then I'll put in that header up there, and then I'll skin it all with the 2x6s and make it watertight, and then I can move on to putting in a rafter. So I like to tie everything together, you know, so the load is transferred when I do pour concrete on the top. The shelf is connected to the header. The header is connected, you know, to the floor through the shelf. The load, if there is one, and again, I don't know how much the ceiling will deflect. I'm going to use perlite, and through the middle, along the edges will be real concrete for the top header for the earth bag. So, but just trying to make sure everything's well built. This is my little Ryobi chainsaw. It's just a 12-inch. I try not to use it anywhere on a tree outside. This is my building a Conex chainsaw. It's light. I can work with it quickly. I can't get through these 6 inches any other way. And it makes a great cut for me. It's super fast. So definitely recommend these Ryobis. The other one that I have with the 18-inch bar I use for timbering. And you've seen me saw planks out of wood with it. So I Alaskan chainsaw mill with it. So, but again, this thing here is just not appropriate for you know, it wouldn't hold a watertight seal. So, and none of these, you know, I don't take measurements. I've told you before, I don't like to do that. So, you know, if I get a good spot, believe I've got a balance. Oh, and I dulled my tooth right there showing off. Alright, now I'll go inside and drill some holes and anchor the ends on that, and away I'll go. Alright, then I drill out a couple of taps inside and I'll anchor that exterior header. And I used to glue them in, but you know, I'm going to come by with Adobe, which I'll put nails in the outer side of it, and the earth bag will grip it, as well as there's, you know, like 5 or 10% concrete in there wrapping around it. I don't think these will ever leak, but I've got rain coming up next week, so I always check them. They don't leak now as it is even before the 12 or 15 inches of earth bag, so I've got a lot of confidence they will never leak. But anyway, I definitely make sure that, you know, everything's bolted in and that the pressure is, the stress is properly managed for sure. Uh-oh. I was worried I was getting a little too close to all of that. I think I might have. Yeah, it's in there and it is sandwiched. These are tight. All right. And if you're wondering, I don't mind drilling through the foil. I'll do that from time to time. I have to do it on this side. I've already sealed everything. Then I'll just put a piece of foil right over that. going to go outside and put the protector wrap on there right now, and that way if there's any rain at all today, I won't have to deal with it. I'm going to stop the camera while I do that, so I'll be right back in a sec. Alright, the protector wrap phase is the waterproofing, right? So don't skip it. So I have actually, so far, 3 layers of protector wrap on here. I've got the window trimmed out to the wood. Then I have the header, I have protector wrap across the top of it. And then when I do the pass-through pieces, I'll protect those as well. Ultimately, there'll be earth bags around this that'll help to shoo the rain away, but it all starts here. And then I do inspect them, and I go back over them anytime. And I caulk edges if I see the protector wrap lifting up. I don't leave any seams at all. Now, I'm not a professional on this. I think that my application of that's pretty sloppy. I think that you could do better than me. I think you should do better than me on the protector wrap. So, and they make them with the little corner pieces. I just cut a little bit more off and make my own. Anyway, now I'm going to trim around this, make the piece that I need for the stained glass to insert, and we'll call that a day. Well, not a day, but this part done, and then I'll run that rafter. Then figure out where the other ones go. Hopefully I'll get rafters done today is what I mean to say. Well, now I'm just framing it in. Doing some cuts, splitting some... What did I do? I ripped a couple of 2x8s down into 2x4s. I'm using that as a trim. Bumper stop. Then I'll caulk it all when I'm done with clear silicone. And have another window done. That whole deal is when there's some rain coming, I want to make sure that there's a bevel that way so that it runs out. And I think I got it. I'll do a little bit more, just so I'm happy. Perfect. Perfect. Then I'll shoot it all with clear silicone when I get these parts done, and away we'll go. Speaking of that, that's this board. Here comes this. Oh, I've got to make a measurement. That's a first. You can't really see in the picture, but everything has a bevel to out, so the rain will run out. The top piece is that way, the bottom piece is that way. So. All right. 16.5, and then we'll go from there. I'll have to, because this has an angle, it's got to be at a little angle when I do it. So I'm going to go out, cut these, and I'll be right back. I like this 100% clear silicone. I don't know, you're having a hard time today hitting the right temperature of, I don't know, too much. Maybe if I pulled the door shut it would help. But anyway, this is DAP 3.0 Advanced Hybrid Sealant. 100% water and weatherproof, indoor or outdoor, 30-minute paint time. But if I smudge it a little and get a little bit on the stained glass, nobody notices. I am not a caulking expert. I try. But one thing that I've learned that does help me is make the tiniest hole you possibly can. Teeny tiny, see? And that way, when you make mistakes, they're little mistakes. Also, I like the idea of an electric caulk gun, but at least get a good one. I've got a good one right here. Don't just get those cheap ones that you see. Oh, caulking this. Caulking's a big deal. Caulking is the big deal. And then I'll go outside and I'll caulk outside as well. And then when I'm all done, I'll caulk around the stained glass window. I guess I could have glued this up, but my thought is these things rot out after a while, and eventually somebody would be able to get in here in 100 years if they need to. Maybe longer. Cedar can last a long time. I'm hoping longer. But nonetheless, when they get around to it, that they'll be able to get in here. And in good faith, they'll be able to replace this timber. But maybe gluing would have been the right answer. That's not what I did, though. I'm going to linseed all of this, right? So I'm using clear so I can linseed. All right, let's put the stained glass window in. Oh, how lovely. How lovely. And I just bend the ears and then I run screws in them, and that's how I'm doing that. And then I'll caulk all the way around it. You should, use felt or something like that if you're inclined. I like that silicone, so I'm not going to use felt. But you do you. I don't argue with people on the internet. I listen to their opinion and weigh it in a balance, and sometimes I even learn. So if you feel like there was a better way for me to do this other than silicone and bending these ears over, let me know. A little bit of a wind out there today. Let me get my drill so I can put that up right away. So I was reading that, oh, my battery's dying. I was reading that stained glass lasts about 40 years. So, I'm designing this that somebody can simply pull it out in 40 years and call it a day, right? Alrighty. Let me go ahead and put the silicone around there and push that in. I'm happy. This is just to keep the wind from banging rattling the stained glass. All right. Now, fingers crossed. All right, now all I have to do is trim and do the outside, and I am done. What do you think, Internet? Nice way to build a ceiling joist, isn't it? Rafter. Roof system. Yeah, pretty happy. Let me do the outside before I forget. Well, it's in, it's caulked. Let's make the trim pieces out of there. Nothing fancy, just square wood right around 45-degree cuts. Put it up. Now those I do have to end up putting in, a couple of nails here. You can see them, I do putty them. So almost everything's a hidden fastener. Those I can't. Besides, you kind of need to take them apart when you repair that. Oh, and I have to measure because I can't get into these little corners. It's not going to be perfectly square. It'll be closest. Let's do the bottom piece first. I'm measuring 20 5/8. Let's do that. Let's do that. Well, let's see how good my first cut went. Oh, not too bad. Not too shabby. All right. Let's do the top now. I feel like doing the top piece. Well, okay, I'll do the sides. That's 20 1/8 is what that is. All right, 20 1/8. Well, let's see. 20 1/8 was my measurement. Ooh. Ooh, am I recording? Let me see if I'm recording. I haven't clicked that. I am recording. Hey, everybody. All right, a couple more cuts. Debating if I'm going to rip those or not. I don't think so. That's 19 1/8. All right, 19 1/8. That doesn't seem right. A whole inch difference. I think I measured wrong. I sure did. 19 7/8. I don't know. See why I don't measure? All right. Let's see. Almost. All right. All right, what do you think, Internet? Not too bad, huh? I'm even going to leave that stick out like that a little bit. Let's get up close. Let's get up close. Get up close, personal. A 1/4 inch overhang on that. I'm going to leave it. That's just part of the charm now. Part of the charm. That's looking good. Now I can run a support from there to the rafter, do the rafter, finish up the, maybe even get that today. This is the last of the little fumbly bit inside the house this bedroom, other than electric and drywall. That's it. I got all the floor bought. Looks good. Looks good. Let's tack that in somehow or another. I'll think about how I'm going to do that. All right, I have decided I'm going to brad nail this up. I do see 3 little nails. I might spackle those, I might not. But that looks good. It really does. Look, a little 1/4 inch round on it. I like it. One that didn't make it all the way through. Lucky me have to use a hammer right next to it. Ah, that's holding over. Oh, wah. Alright, it still needs a couple of nails. I thought I could brad nail it there and there. It still needs some. It's still a little wobbly. I mean, I could get itty bitty clavos and put right over that if I wanted. We shall see. Alright. I didn't want to clean it there. All done. Mission accomplished. Now I can start engineering that. Looks good. Hope it doesn't rain when it leaks. I'll find out this week because it's going to rain. And if it leaks, then well, I'll have to do something. You know, there's a lot of sunlight today. I don't know why my camera's being so stubborn. Maybe I messed up the white balance. You know, this has a touch screen on it now, so like if my hand brushes it, I could change the setting. Well, it's the end of the day. Doing a real quick wrap up. This window looks pretty darn good. I do a lot of low light videos because I work to the last minute of the last second of the last hour. It's after 7 o'clock. I really like daylight savings. So this is in, mounted, put on the wall. I really like it. It's really well done. There's the header. Now the only thing tomorrow, or whenever I get around to it, is to put a post up, and then I can start doing the rafters. So, but you know, this video is already going to be like, I don't know, an hour. I'll have to edit it down. I don't like them that long. But thank you for following along. I hope that my method of installing windows inside of a Conex was enlightening for you. You notice there, I didn't do a lot of things. I didn't cut a lot of kerfs. I used to do that. I just sandwich that bad boy in there and make it work. And it is watertight. So, thank you for watching.